The latest Hines, Rummenigge, Mateos, Jaap Stam for the first time, and Petr Čech with GK direct defense. Trust me, bro, skill. So I've got them all. I've tried them for 5, 6, about just around 10 games in online events and ranked matches. Now, first of all, it's a pack of 200 because it's Hines. I think in the recent most of my videos, I did say Adriano, we had Del Piero, we had Pato. I think Adriano, Del Piero and Pato still absolute game changers, especially Del Piero. But with Hines, he's just unique. Unless you've got the previous card with phenomenal finishing, then you can skip this pack. Otherwise, normally, to a point where I don't try to put every card on a pedestal in a sense. I like to show the fails of certain cards as well. Like, for example, with Jaap Stam, everybody thought he's going to stop caller. Not consistently, not at all. So the pack of 200 with 2 Showtime cards, I think those two, I mean, even his highlight card was decent, to be honest. I did use him for a couple of games. I got better strikers, so I dropped him. And same thing with him, I think it current suits the current link up for Beckenbauer, a box-to-box with high passing. But in terms of Mateos, if you don't have Mateos box-to-box, both of them consistently, your starting 11 absolute game changers throughout the year. Pack value is not that great. Again, it's a pack of 200. But I think if you ever spend or if you need a goal poacher that's going to stay in your squad and absolutely change your game, you're done. You get Hines. He's the best. I mean, I would rate him top 3, top 5 striker in the game at the moment. And definitely has some sort of player ID. Even Hines with low balance previous cards was incredibly good evading tackles, evading physical tussles. And with this one having blitz curler, yeah, sure, you don't want to do blitz curlers like Messi or Zico or Zola with him, but it does help in a sense, plus the phenomenal finishing. You're talking about strength, speed, depending on how you train him. He comes with every position ready. It's just a simple, powerful goal poacher. You give him a through ball, he's going to deliver. And same goes for Mateos. I think this one with phenomenal finishing and trust me, bro, fortress skill. I think Mateos, the previous one, this exact card with the young face, age 25. We had the Bayern Munich one before as well, but this one is definitely a good upgrade. So unless you've got the whole player one, I'm not going to compare him to that because the whole player is one of the best cards in the game, really. If you want, it's kind of similar to Nedved in a sense, being a utility player, can defend, create, pass, finish. But this one is a box-to-box and has been higher passing at base. It kind of changes it. Again, every key stats has 90 apart from physicality. You could do that. It's possible, but will affect his other stats. So he's the perfect box-to-box beside your DMF. Maybe have even a GP card on the bench as a sub. Absolute game changer. Now, before we jump into the details of these cards, how I train them and skills, let's talk about this pack. I think if you don't have top 3 goalkeepers right now, in my opinion, is Petr Schmeichel, Van der Sar, and Petr Čech. If you have Schmeichel or Van der Sar, you definitely need to skip this pack. And same thing goes with Jaap Stam. I think if you have the most recent build-up centre-backs like Rio Ferdinand or Varane, you definitely don't need Jaap Stam. At the moment, currently, I would rate him probably top 5, top 10 CBs in the game. I think if they gave him long-reach tackle, that would have made him way too OP. In terms of the pack value, I think this pack is only good for people, obviously, who doesn't have a goalkeeper, which is the backbone of the team. And often doesn't matter which goalkeeper you have. There are certain games, even an average free goalkeeper stops every shot. And there are certain games when Petr Čech absolutely stands out. I think the first 4 or 5 games, he made incredibly good saves. But also you have to look at it in a way. Is he making good saves or my opponent have no clue how to finish? That's how I look at it. So the first couple of games with Petr Čech, I didn't do manual goalkeeping. One thing I've noticed, he parries the ball to save zones, not giving away a lot of rebounds. And with incredible reflexes, sort of stands out between Van der Sar and Petr Schmeichel. So let's start with Hines. At the moment, I want to try him with 90 physical. And then I'm going to try him with 85 physical. If I don't see a difference, then I will stick to 85 physical and probably increase his finishing because he's a proper number 9. This is the training at the moment. A second booster was striker instinct, was random. I would probably give him shooting maybe, or off the ball, if you have to pick one. In terms of skills, I think definitely needs, I mean, this one is a bit difficult because if you like special double touch, obviously you need flip-flop soul control. Otherwise, one touch pass, through pass. I'll talk about a list of skills and you have to decide based on your preference. One touch pass, through pass is a must. And then you got soul control, cut behind and turn, aerial superiority if you cross often. And I'm not talking about a fancy cross on a wide wing. I'm talking about L1 triangle meta crossing inside the box. So you have to decide between those two. If you're a dribbler, or if you play a lot of aerial balls, or you simply just play a fast one-touch pass, and you choose between those two. Second, we have Mateos. I usually like to hit the 90 stats. But often when I train players a little bit like this, just every key stats 85 plus works out very well. I think depending on the manager's booster, at the moment I'm very happy with this one. He's a more of a defensive-minded box-to-box compared to the whole player one, so I didn't give him a lot of finishing, and I know he doesn't have a lot of finishing, so I don't do any fancy things with him. Now, if you are going to use him beside your main DMF, I think blocker can be essential. Blocker, fighting spirit, soul control, double touch if you are a dribbler. Also, pinpoint crossing is good as well. When you do a 1-2 between a midfielder and a striker, when you return that L1 triangle pass, pinpoint crossing helps. Or often using a circle to return the pass. Pinpoint crossing helps. Probably your other options would be long range curler, outside curler, weighted pass, but double touch is essential as well. So it really depends on the system that you're using. If he's going to be involved in the box often, he's a box to box, he will be involved there. But you have to keep in mind, if you're not going to give him long range curler or outside curler or any finishing skills, then you have to be aware of that, make a pass instead of finishing more often. Next, we have the Jaap Stam. Probably his second booster, I would give him defending, which I did. At the moment, I have him trained like this. You could go with less speed, less acceleration, extreme defense. I'm happy with this current training. Or you can also reduce his speed and acceleration, maybe acceleration 80, speed 85, and make his jump in 95. So these are things you can play with it a little bit. Because if you're playing quick counter tactic, I think the 85 acceleration can be essential. And most often, defenders only make like 5-meter quick runs. So acceleration, it's really important for center backs. But often acceleration would lead to attack and awareness to be higher. Most defenders don't have high acceleration by default. At the same time, you can just give them 90 speed, 80 acceleration, but you have to be aware that you've trained them like that in terms of instantly making that bullet, instantly making that impactful, trigger-ready run in a sense. In terms of his skill, acrobatic clearance, low lofted pass, through pass, one-touch pass, gamesmanship if you like. And last but not least, Petr Čech. I know this is a little bit of unconventional training. 100 reach is not necessary, but I'm testing him like this and I'm happy with it. I think at the moment with the current meta, goalkeepers having higher reflex is essential, especially for tall goalkeepers. With this current training, I'm pretty happy with him. If I change anything, probably reduce his reach and parrying and try to make his jump 85 or 85 plus. But at the moment, I'm happy with this one. And obviously his second booster would be saving. In terms of his skills, GK high punt, fighting spirit, low lofted pass, weighted pass, through pass. These could be essential for a goalkeeper. So that's my opinion about the latest cards. Hines, Rummenigge, Mateos, Petr Čech, Jaap Stam. Let me know if you got them already. Let me know if you trained them unusual and you're surprised by it. Or if you're not happy with any of these cards. I mean, the obvious one would be probably Jaap Stam. Maybe doesn't suit a lot of people's system. But in terms of Hines, Mateos, it's for everybody. And same thing goes with Petr Čech. Whether you play meta formation or position, quick counter, long ball counter, I think it's important to train your players based on the playing style you play. Like I would train certain defenders, especially defenders and midfielders, very different if I was to play position game or long ball counter or quick counter. Not majorly different, but for example, if I play position, I'll probably give Mateos more passing. If I play quick counter, I'll give him more speed. And also for Mateos, I think his second booster, I forgot to talk about it, it would have to be probably agility, I would say. And in terms of Jaap Stam, I mean, yeah, he's a big guy, he's strong. I don't think there's a match for you to stop Kohler. And I think in the next video, I also want to talk about the aerial game, how inconsistent it is. Whether it's a crossing game, whether you got Pedri facing aerial forward, Nesta or Rio and winning headers. In certain games, you see certain things. A mix goes completely beyond the logic of player stats and how a player is supposed to perform based on the dominance between high balance and physicality or low physicality, high physicality. These kind of situations often happen in the game. Makes you think, should I train my players differently? And also there's a lot of factors when it comes to DDA, delay, smart assist, or tired players in a sense. My problem with Jaap Stam is his stamina. Stamina is low compared to other center backs I have. We're talking about like Thuram or Bergomi or big time Araujo, and many other center backs with incredibly high stamina, or Thuram. Hope you find the video useful. Let me know if you want to see these player reviews any differently. I try to show you the pack, show you the examples, and go through them straight to the point. Thank you for watching. Till next time.